Welcome to the Hustler's Corner podcast. I am your host, Emeka Menakaya. I'm an actor, entrepreneur, and a student of self-development. On each episode, my purpose is to bring you an inspiring message that supports your journey for growth in life. My intent is to leave you feeling empowered and motivated to push through any obstacles in pursuit of your goals and dreams. I'm grateful for your time with me today, so let's get started. Welcome everyone to episode 7 of the Hustler's Corner podcast. I am your host, Emeka Menakaya. I am grateful that you made time out of your day to listen to this podcast episode. I sincerely appreciate it, and I promise to make it worth your time. A huge thank you to those of you that have subscribed to the podcast. If you haven't done so already, you can subscribe either through iTunes, Google Play, or Spotify. That way you receive a notification when a new episode is released. And please follow us on Instagram at the Hustler's Corner Podcast for news and updates, and like our page on Facebook as well. I hope everyone is doing well and your week is off to a phenomenal start. I'm excited about today's episode. I will be taking a slightly different approach. Instead of focusing on a specific area or challenge, today I will be sharing various self-improvement tips on how we can take better care of ourselves and live healthier and better lives. Now, the one thing I'm sure that we all have in common is that we want the best for ourselves and for our loved ones. We want to improve the way we live our lives. That's why at the beginning of each year, most of us create New Year resolutions, right? Like come January 1st, I'm going to start hitting the gym 4 times a week. Or I'm going to smoke my last cigarette on New Year's Eve and I'll be done. I'm going to start eating healthier. And I'm going to stop judging people and myself. I'm going to sign up for that salsa class and finally start doing the things that I want to do. I'm going to make myself more available so I can spend more time with the people that I love and care about. We set all these resolutions at the beginning of the year, and sometimes we are able to sustain them throughout the year. But the truth is we don't need to wait till the beginning of the year to start living better lives. We're doing the things that ultimately give our lives value and meaning. We can start living our lives to the fullest the moment we decide to take full responsibility for our own joy and happiness. And so today, I'm going to be sharing a few self-improvement tips across various aspects of our lives on how we can become better versions of ourselves and how we can live healthier and better lives. I'm going to be talking from health to our relationships with ourselves and others, to our careers and our finances, to spiritual self-development. Now, for those of you wondering, Emeka, what qualifies you to speak on this? That's a good question. Full disclosure, I'm not a doctor or an expert, and I've never claimed to be one. I'm simply a student of self-development. I love every aspect of growth and discovering meaningful ways to improve my life. I have taken a few courses on self-development, and I have read a lot of self-help books, and I continue to do so. So I'm only sharing the things that I have learned and have found to have been valuable to me on my journey. And so my hope is that you're able to take away something from this episode that you believe is meaningful to you and that you can implement in your own life, thus creating value and better life experiences for yourself. Because I honestly believe that the more knowledge and self-awareness we possess, the more enlightened we become, the more powerful we are, and life starts to feel even more exciting. So, what are some of the self-improvement tips for a better life? Starting off with our health. Number 1, exercise more often. I know it feels good to say my New Year resolution is that I'm going to go to the gym more often, but why wait till the new year? Why can't we start today? The common excuse is that it's the holidays or I want to pack on the extra pounds over Christmas and use that as motivation at the beginning of the year. And then come late February or early March, the numbers in the gym start to dwindle, right? We lose that motivation. But we can make exercise a part of our lifestyle. Then it doesn't have to be a yearly resolution. Even if you spend at least 30 minutes 3 times a week exercising or in the gym, it'll make a huge difference on your overall health. Exercising gives you energy, helps relieve stress, making for better mental health and balance, and it helps get you fit. If you need to get a personal trainer to get you started, then by all means, please. You can also enroll in a workout class with others. Knowing that you are part of a group will also encourage you to keep going. Try not to go more than 3 days in between your workouts though. Instead, try to keep that momentum up. I also realize that our schedules can get a bit crazy, and that's why I recommend at least 30 minutes for your workout. You don't need to be in the gym for hours and hours. You can go running, jogging, or swimming. anything that you can do to get your blood pumping and get your heart rate up. So make exercising more a part of your lifestyle. Number 2, you are what you eat. Be more conscious of what you're putting into your body and stay away from eating as much fried food as possible. I used to love fried food, especially when I lived in the States. I was a fan of KFC. I mean, who wasn't? Now, I don't know what they put in their chicken to make it taste so good, but I couldn't get enough. But I later realized that it wasn't the healthiest of meals. Fried food makes you feel awful for 24 hours, not to mention lacks nutrients. It can also increase your cholesterol levels and give you high blood pressure. Now, I'm not a nutritionist, but I have been fortunate enough to know some pretty damn good ones. And my world was open to a healthier and just as delicious way of eating. So try eating foods that revitalize your body and provide you with the right kind of energy, not the one that makes you sleepy during that 2 p.m. meeting after a big lunch. Eat cleaner foods like fish, baked chicken, vegetables, fruits and nuts, and cut out things like soda, pop, coffee, sugar, and alcohol, or at least in moderation. Because I know it's not easy. And make sure you drink a lot more water. You can also try cutting out dairy if you have a sensitive stomach, because for some of us, this can eliminate digestive problems. You can also find a good nutritionist that you can work with that'll help you create a meal plan. That way you're getting the right nutrients to live a healthier life. Because remember, what you eat will either complement your body after a workout or not. And ultimately, your health is your wealth. Alright, number 3, get enough good sleep. Now, whatever works best for you, 8 hours or 5 hours of sleep, you need to rest the body. Good sleep will help the body regenerate cells and provides greater concentration. For me, I love my sleep. That's the one thing that I don't play around with. But we don't always have the luxury of getting the maximum amount of hours we'd like for sleep. So if you're able to sneak in a good power nap during your day, I highly recommend it. Alright, number 4, keep track of routine doctor visits. Put a reminder in your calendar for things like physicals, dental checkups, and skin checks, so you don't miss any. I try to make sure that I have a physical done at least once, sometimes twice a year if I can. The same way we have accountants check our books to make sure our numbers are looking good is the same approach we should have for our bodies. We should all take our preventive care seriously. Now, even though there's a lot more out there, these are just a few things that we can do to improve our overall health to help us live better and happier lives. So now let's look at relationships. And by that, I mean our relationships to ourselves and to others. What are some of the things that we can do? Number 1, be your own best friend. Cultivate a habit of self-love. Learn to love yourself more every day. This will create a centeredness that we all deserve to experience. When we love and appreciate who we are happier in every area of our lives. Be more kind and forgiving of yourself. Allow yourself to make mistakes. Treat yourself to wonderful experiences like travel, get a massage, reward yourself. Set goals for yourself and acknowledge all your accomplishments. After all, it's all part of the process of life in discovering who we are. That's number 1. Number 2, set relationship goals. You wouldn't start a business, career, or anything important without setting goals. And it shouldn't be any different for relationships. So start small and come up with goals that excite the both of you and build from there. It could be as small as going to the gym together, that way you are both each other's support structure, to starting a business or a family together. Working together towards a common goal will ultimately strengthen your relationship and the bond you have for your partner. And make sure that you're putting as much time and effort into your relationship as you are into your work, because it's absolutely necessary. People matter the most, so prioritize people. This is important when setting relationship goals. Alright, number 3, give people the benefit of the doubt. If you make this a practice, you'll find that you are less judgmental of others. You won't have to question people as much, and you'll be happier. Now, I'm not saying be gullible, but you'll have the peace of mind knowing that not everyone has an agenda towards you. And if they do, it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. You'll be taking responsibility for your own happiness and peace of mind. Number 4, stay in touch. These days, it's so easy to get consumed in our own world, that we forget to check in on the people that matter the most in our lives. We shouldn't be reaching out only when we need something, because it's important to stay connected to the people we care about. Even if it's a simple text to a friend saying, "Hi, I just wanted to check in on you. I haven't talked to you in a while, but I hope all is well." Or a phone call to a family member that you care about but you haven't talked to in quite some time. This allows others to know that you are thinking of them and that we still care. Doing this will maintain the bond in our relationships and help us live happier lives. Now, number 5, learn to communicate better. Being able to communicate better with others will make your life easier and happier. Say sorry the right way. Don't use ifs in your apologies. For example, "I'm sorry if I upset you." Address the apology head on and take responsibility for your actions. Learn to use phrases like please and thank you more often. Show gratitude even for the smallest gestures. If someone holds the door or the elevator for you, say thank you. And don't put your partner down in public. This is one of the worst things you can do. It's disrespectful and it harms your relationship. And of course, there are a lot more things that we can do, but these are just a few steps that we can take to help improve our relationships so we live happier and better lives. Now, let's look at what we can do to improve our finances. Now, number 1, spend less and save more. Now, this rule sounds so simple, yet it's hard for a lot of people to follow. This requires discipline. If you're able to live by this rule, you will be able to build an extraordinary financial future. A lot of people tend to spend money on things that they don't even need. They may want those things, but they don't need them. Now, there's nothing wrong with spoiling yourself every now and then, but if you're popping bottles in a club and you're not sure how you're going to pay your rent at the end of the month, then that's just hustling backwards. We need to have control of our finances and how we manage them. Open up a savings account and transfer a percentage of your paycheck into your savings each time you get paid. It might not be much, but it adds up. And in the event of an emergency, you always have cash for a rainy day. So aim to have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund, because emergencies do happen and having cash will help lessen the stress. Now, number 2, get out of debt. Do everything you can to get out of debt. It could be debt that you owe personally or to the bank. It could be credit card debt. Take the necessary steps you can to pay off your debts. Make sure you pay what you owe to someone before going to spend money on yourself. Debt holds you back from options and requires you to be a slave to the lender. Debt also creates the opportunity for others to question your credibility, especially in a business investment situation. So pay off your credit card each month if you can, and if you cannot, make sure you're paying way more than the minimum payment, because that interest compounds over time. The feeling of being debt-free has a profound impact on your state of happiness, so make sure you're taking the right steps to get out of debt. Now, number 3, make more money. If your current income level isn't enough to cover your expenses or your financial goals, then you have to find new ways to bring in income legitimately. It could mean taking a class to get a certificate or degree that allows you to earn more. It could also mean picking up a part-time job. And it could also mean investing in yourself. Depending on your income level, for example, you could start a side business, like a profitable blog, or perhaps you are pretty creative and you could go into freelance work, like hosting weddings or emceeing events, photography, graphic design, writing, pretty much anything that you are good at and you can profit from. We are all creative beings, and we can use our creativity to generate additional sources of income for ourselves. And number 4, hire a financial advisor. Having the right professional manage your money can give you an advantage and help you succeed financially. An advisor can help you with your decisions of investment and in taking advantage of new business opportunities. And make sure you're saving for retirement. The earlier you start, the more you benefit from compounding interest. So make sure you pick the right financial advisor for you. Okay, we just looked at finances. Now let's quickly look at the ways we can improve our careers so we live better lives. Number 1, quit your job if you hate it. If what you are doing right now doesn't bring you a sense of fulfillment, then I encourage you to find something else. Life is too short to spend it on doing something that you hate. Now, I'm not saying that you walk over to your boss right now and hand over your access card and your papers. No, you have to book the next gig before quitting the current one. So look deep into yourself and ask yourself, Is this what I really want to be doing? And if the answer is no, then start taking the steps to move in the direction of a career that will give your life meaning and bring you happiness. Number 2, develop your skills. If you're currently working in a job that you absolutely love, then you want to do everything that you can to grow and show that you can add value to the organization. Whether it's taking courses that develop your skills or learning newer and more efficient ways to do your job and sharing that knowledge with others. These are things that will make you more likable and retainable. Because if you think about it, if you are hired on to do a job, you can easily be replaced. But if you show that you are worth more and possess more value, then whenever there are layoffs, because layoffs do happen all the time, there'll be more than one reason to retain you. Remember that likability matters at work. There are studies that show that likability is one of the most significant factors in getting hired and promoted. So make an effort to develop your skills and to fit in with the culture at work. Now, number 3, take constructive feedback positively. This one is a no-brainer, as this can help you become better at your job. Learn to accept constructive feedback and criticism. There's always room to improve the way we do our work. And if someone is taking the time to point out areas of improvement in a constructive manner, then we should be grateful for that feedback. Number 4, get a mentor. Find someone in your industry that you look up to or admire and learn from them. Having someone that you trust who is doing what you want to do can pay off big time. People are always humbled when approached on becoming a mentor because they too were coached by someone early on in their careers, and they are mostly open to paying that forward by mentoring others. Having a mentor will help you develop good leadership skills, and learning how to be a good leader will prepare you for your career and for your life. Okay, now lastly, let's look at ways we can improve our personal and spiritual development. Number 1, stop being a perfectionist. Let go of the idea of perfection. It doesn't exist. It only gets in the way of our happiness and can be annoying to others. You're already whole and complete and not lacking of anything, so stop trying to be perfect. Number 2, get comfortable saying no. You can't please everyone, and you shouldn't be trying to either. If you don't learn to say no, people will determine the course of your life for you. You end up doing the things you didn't really want to do, going to places you didn't want to go to, and being with people you ultimately don't want to be with. You don't have to be mean. You can be polite, but assertive when saying no. So learn to say no to the things you don't want, so you can make room in your life for the things that you do want to do. Number 3, find ways to express gratitude daily. If you look closely at your life, you'll see that there's always something to be grateful for. Cultivating a habit of gratitude will increase happiness and abundance in your life. It will remove thoughts of lack or scarcity, remove any fears of competition, and will increase thoughts of optimism and trust. It will change your perspective to a positive mindset, and that will carry over into other areas of your life. So look for ways to express gratitude on a daily basis. And number 4, be transformed by the renewal of your mind. What you feed into your mind will grow, and that could be weeds or seeds. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. Read books that will help you grow. Listen to more podcasts like this one, especially on your commute to work. Look for ways to keep learning and growing. Learn more about yourself and the potential you possess. Don't see yourself as just who you are, but rather see yourself as who you could become while appreciating who you are today. And number 5, set goals for yourself and stay motivated. Keep pushing yourself to accomplish your goals. Do things that will make you challenge yourself and get out of your comfort zone. It is only by taking action can we succeed. There's a saying in my country, who no go, no go no. Essentially, this means if you don't get out there and try, you will never know what you could accomplish. So set goals and keep your accountability to reaching them by staying motivated. Number 6, have faith in something bigger than you. Now, regardless of your religious or spiritual beliefs, whether you believe in God or not, having faith in a higher power can make your life more meaningful. So make quiet time to tune into your source. You can do this through meditation or prayer by sitting in silence and observing the breath. You're able to align yourself with your inner guidance, which is directly connected to your source of strength. So decide what you believe in and commit to that. Now, in closing, I know that there are so much more tips available out there on self-improvement and how we can live better lives. Today, I shared with you the tips I found that work best for me. So I encourage you to take what you heard in this episode and apply what you believe to be practical and meaningful to you. If what you are seeking is happiness and a better life, then we can all be honest with ourselves by looking closely at our lives and recognize the areas that need improvement. By doing so, we will become better versions of ourselves and live a life of gratitude and true happiness. Hey guys, I want to thank you for being with me today on the Hustler's Corner podcast. If you like what you heard, please share this episode with at least 3 to 5 people or anyone you think needs to hear it. If you would like to get the show notes from today's episode, you can go to the website www.thehustlerscorner.com and click on the episode tab at the top of the page. Make sure you check out next week's episode. I hope you have a blessed week, and let's continue to grow, inspire, and support each other. Thank you, and one love.